Hey everybody, welcome to Mike Nierychlo Online. So today, well, before I get started, had a fairly long day at work today, tiring day. One thing that I find is so awesome, as soon as I walk down here into my garage, smell the smell of all my winemaking equipment that you can't see behind the camera, I'm reminded of what my passion is and how excited I get about it. And I just get this whole new breath of life into me. And it's just doing these episodes for you people who are watching, it just keeps me going and I have so much fun doing it. So anyway, today, Australia, down under. And I got some relatives down there and I've actually seen a few people online doing some wine videos from there as well. You can check them out. Today, the variety I'm concentrating on, of course, it's Australia, is Shiraz. But what I've brought with me is two Shiraz Cab blends. Found these at the liquor store. This one was recommended to me by a guy. It's $7 wine, and he said it's quite decent. He was really surprised by the price point of it. So I'm really curious to see how these play out. So a little bit about Shiraz. Shiraz, Syrah, it's the same grape. It originated as Syrah. Nobody knows exactly the historic core roots of it, but historically it tends to come from the Rhone Valley of France. They do a lot of Syrah there. It's very well known for that on the Rhone. It's found its way to the rest of the planet. There are studies saying that it's like the 7th most planted variety on the planet. We do a lot of it. It tends to do what I've found really well in almost slightly cooler climates, like the Rhone Valley, like its, let's call it, parallel counterpart on the same near parallel. Here in Canada, it does quite well. And with the slightly cooler climate, it seems like it gives it more like a sense of place, a good terroir, very earthy and robust and peppery and meaty and things like that, leathery. I had some of the old world characteristics of Syrah, and it seems like Canada's pushing out a few like that. When you say Shiraz, it's almost more like the New World term for it. Australia's doing a lot of it, areas like that. Yeah, mostly Australia, as well. South Africa is doing a fair amount of it. I find the Shiraz in those much hotter climates, like Australia, and I'm talking on a very general basis with Australia here. The wines we receive here in Canada from the importers are only going to be from the really big guys who are producing a lot more in a lot hotter climates. I'd love to go there and try some of the smaller area wineries, but I'm not there right now. But when it's done in a lot hotter climate, we have our Rosemonts and our Two Up and our Wolf Blass, all these guys doing Shiraz, it tends to give it a much more fruit forward play, a lot of black fruit, black berry play, a little bit jammy, things like that. Yeah, still has the peppery play. So I'm really curious to see how they play out. These are both value Shirazes. I just grabbed it off the shelf. They were recommended to me by a guy at liquor store as decent values. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. And here's another New World thing, Australia. A lot of screw cap going on. Just thought I'd leave them on there for you to see. So the first one I'm going to try, it's by Heartland. It's their Stickleback Red. They call it, so they got some cool fish laying on there. It's a 2008 Heartland Stickleback Red. It's a Shiraz Cab Sav. It says soft, round, and spicy on the back. Anyway, I'm going to try it out. See how it goes. Okay. Slide that one over there. So here we go. Here's a classic Shiraz thing. It's a very inky color, this one. A very inky, like black red. Yeah, inky's just kind of the best way to put it. Almost slightly viscously inky. Let it open up a little bit. Oh, and by the way, right now, and I should be up there watching it, but we're doing quite well, is the men's Canada versus Germany game. When I left the television, it was 5-1. We're in the last period. Go Canada, keep it up. US, you guys played it phenomenally well in the game when you beat us recently. We'll see how it goes when we play you again, if we make it there. Anyway, on the nose. Actually, I'm really enjoying the nose of this one. It's much more earthy. Shiraz Cab. You get a lot of pepper, a bit of leather, and big ripe black fruits. Big ripe black fruits. I would say it's kind of plummy, Yeah, a lot of plum. Some black cherry, but deep black cherry, more like black cherry skin. It's definitely kind of meaty and leathery with a lot of pepper. Okay. Whoa. Okay, first thing I'm gonna say with this one, it's really hot. And when I say hot, I'm talking about the alcohol. The alcohol just hits me in the back of my palate. I mean, it's 14.5%. Usually a big wine, especially a cab, there's a Shiraz Cab, can hold it. The alcohol is really coming through on this. It's quite sweet, quite strong. A fair amount of the alcohol comes through. Quite sweet. I would definitely say on the palate, a hint of pepper, quite plummy, a lot of blackberry. I'd almost venture to say blackberry jam, blackberry syrup, quite sweet. It's decent. It's really showing in the mid palate. That's where the fruit's really hitting. You get a lot of that blackberry and plum kind of hits right there, followed by a hint of a pepper finish. It kind of skips over the front of your palate. It comes across sweet. That's usually where your sweet readers are, but it just kind of jumps past that. And the alcohol kind of kicks you in the back. So it's not overly well balanced, and it is a little bit goopy in my palate. I find that it kind of overwhelms my mouth and leaves kind of a film or a goopiness in my palate. Although, I don't mind it. It's a $15 Shiraz Cab. For 15 bucks, I would say I would give this, let's go with 86 points. It's definitely an okay wine. A decent example of Australian Shiraz Cab. The Cab is really, I think, helping this one out, helping break the sweetness down a little bit of the Shiraz. Interesting wine. Okay, on to the next one. Now this one, my glass of rinse here, guy brought out from the back, Steve, who I know at the liquor store here. He says, you gotta try this. I bought it the other day. It's $6.99. He's like, for $6.99, it's always worth a try. And he says, I was quite impressed with it for the price point. So I'm really curious how it plays out. So this one here, I guess I should tell you what it is. It's the Angoves 2007 Chalk Hill Blue Shiraz Cab from South Australia. They got a nice little crest on there and everything. It's the 2007. Let's see how this one goes. Now this one, it's a little bit more elegant in color. Definitely less inky. Kind of a more elegant ruby, as opposed to this one was very inky red. Kind of an elegant ruby. Whew, okay. Completely different nose on this one. This nose has definitely got some serious barnyard action going on. Real barnyard. Which I like when I find barnyard. It's very interesting to me. But this is like manure-y barnyard. Like a cow just walked by about 30 feet away, dropped a big one, but you got the nice aromas of the hay and everything as well. It's quite barnyard. A hint of pepper. And again, kind of plums and stuff. Yeah, plums and black fruit again. Okay. This one is extremely peppery. It's like I just took a peppercorn and crunched down on it. This would hold its own really nicely with a big steak, a big peppercorn steak or something like that. If you let this one breathe for a bit too, I just opened it up and I'm really giving it some oxygen in this glass. The pepperiness is kind of dissipating. It's still got the nice pepperiness flavor, but it's kind of breathing off and allowing the fruit through. There's a lot of plum. some like black raspberry. It's got a nice tart acidity to it. This one's much more balanced on the palate. This one, like I said, is 14.5% alcohol. This is 13% alcohol, which I think is a bit more bang on. 13% alcohol. It's pretty good. It's drinking ever so slightly young. I'd almost let this one, not young as if it was bottled too soon, but I'd almost let it age a little bit longer. The tannins are a little bit, not tight, they're a little bit puffy still. I'm getting a little bit of that puckering mouth on it, but again, this would hold its own really nicely with some food. I'm having pizza tonight, see what happens. Maybe I'll have some pizza with it. But quite nicely balanced. Much more terroir driven, earth driven. Very peppery, kind of plums, elegant flavors. Much more balanced in my palate. And I think this is awesome. This is half the price of this one, $7. I gave this one 86 points. I'm going to venture, I'm going to say I'll give this one 87 points. And you know what? I'm going to try the other one again. Because how well that one's tasting for the price. This one's very inky. I won't bother rinsing, but. Yeah. It's thin, the alcohol kicks in. I'm only going to give, you know, I'm sorry. I'm only going to give this one, let's say, 84.5 points. It's okay, not great. This one, for $7, is definitely great value. Great value, in my opinion, for $7. Yeah, seek it out. I'll show you the bottle again there. You can see my reviews below. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed, actually. So, yeah, leave your comments below. Let me know if you've tried some good Australian Shirazes lately that have surprised you, that we really enjoy. And, yeah, have a great evening. 87 points, $7 wine. I'm good with that. We'll see you next time.